Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting exclusive offer just for you.
For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just go to getcopperhead.com. That's getcopperhead.com for your 2 free gifts with purchase. Getcopperhead.com.
Welcome to Con Carne. I'm James Van Osdell. Con Carne, presented by Alex Ross Art.
Hi, this is Alex Ross. I appreciate you guys supporting our YouTube, and we create new content every week. I hope you will continue to support us, and please subscribe.
It's Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van
Osdell. Con Carne, also sponsored by 90 Days in the 90s. 90 Days in the 90s is a book. It's a fiction book written by Andy Fry. If you are a Chicagoan, if you have an affinity for Chicago, if you remember those days in the 90s in Chicago, this is the book for you. The lead character, Darby, is a record store owner in Chicago, and she goes back in time. She gets on the Gray Line, which takes her back to the 90s in Chicago, where she gets to soak in all the memories and the nostalgia, the pop culture. The question is, does Darby come back to the present day, or does she decide to stay in the 90s where things were wonderful? Get the book, find out 90daysinthe90s.com, or just get it on Amazon. Con Carne, also sponsored by Easy Automation, easy-automation.net. Are you a homeowner? Are you ready for a truly smart home? Doesn't the idea of minimizing your energy usage while maximizing your comfort sound good? You need to talk to my guys. Easy Automation will help you find a customized solution that is right for your place. The team has 30 years of collective experience in the industry and will tailor a service package that fits your lifestyle and needs. Get a quote by visiting easy-automation.net or call 630-730-3728, 630-730-3728. I am in a parking lot in suburban Addison, Illinois. To my right, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, it's comedian Kyle Kinane.
What's up?
We decided against doing a restaurant thing because we are in a restaurant desert. It is barren out here. There's a Famous Dave's, there's a Chipotle at Jimmy John's.
I mean, there's some traditional spots here. El Burrito Tapatio.
Okay.
Nardi's Pizza.
Why didn't you tell me about those before we started recording?
Because I didn't know how we're going to eat a whole pizza in the car.
It's been done.
Really?
Joe Principe, rise against.
Well, but then... Like,
okay.
I can't, if I get a pizza, I can't mess around with like a small or a medium. Like, I'm going to want all this pizza. I always get like a large.
Are you a Clean Plate Club member?
Very much so.
Same. Is that a Midwestern thing, or is that just...
I think an incredible... You finish your food.
So we're sitting here...
We could have put it on the roof and like eaten it through the sun.
It's true.
We could have reached.
We're sitting here in Addison. I kind of have PTSD being in this town. The worst job I ever had was in Addison, Illinois. And it was a job I had for a year. I did digital marketing for a company called Partstown, which sounds like a made-up company.
Worked for so many companies that sounded made up in this town.
And the thing is, on lunch break, no one hangs out at places like that. Everyone kind of jumps in their cars and goes their own ways. And you see at lunchtime in towns like Addison, people sitting by themselves in parking lots eating their lunches. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure I sat in this very same parking lot eating a sandwich at some point.
Yep.
But before comedy, did you ever have one of those jobs where you walk in and the first day you're there, you're like, okay, this is a race against the clock. Either I need to quit or they're going to fire me. I want to be the one who quits.
Those are pretty much the only jobs that I've ever had before comedy. I don't think I've ever had a job like, oh, I'm going to make this one work. I used to work at, there was a place called, I guess, but actually I liked the job, so Well, it doesn't matter if I liked it. I'm still gonna like. It was a place. They're called Clyde's Delicious Donuts. They're right down here off of Fullerton, and it was fun because I worked there in high school. Like I was just like, I'm not gonna apply myself. Like I'm a young dumb kid. Do you need an idiot to do things that? Like I was basically like a mob fixer, but for just dumb, dangerous shit that a warehouse needed. You to like, hey, can you like crawl under these stacks of pallets to see if this thing is plugged in back there? Like stuff that a union OSHA would be really pissed, but like this kid's 16 and doesn't know what OSHA is. Like that's how I hired myself out. That's like, I'm not saying shit. What do you need me to do?
So you were fearless.
Not that. I was just dumb and like
Young and dumb.
I also was, honestly, I feel like any kid in high school that worked in fast food deserves like a Purple Heart.
They deserve something.
If you
Some
worked
kind of acknowledgement.
If you worked in fast food in your hometown, where kids from your high school could come in and pull this "the customer's always right" type of crap to somebody that they're same age, I would see a kid that I knew like got bullied in high school, and then he was at McDonald's, and I'm like, you're the bravest person. I'm like, I know there's like soldiers and firemen, but you're the bravest person I know in real life.
In real life.
Yeah.
So you are a podcaster. One thing I realize as a podcaster I don't do enough, and I know I should, I don't listen to myself after I record shows.
I hate it.
Me too. But I also realize that listening to yourself is how you get better, and you hear things that you don't think about when you're recording. I listened to a couple episodes recently, and I realized I do a terrible job of introducing my guests. I kind of just get right to it. Like,
yeah.
Okay, you know who this is. Come on, let's do it. And I need to be better. So I was listening to you podcasting.
Okay. Oh, I'm going to get a pro intro?
Well, no.
Okay. All right. Well, never mind.
You had talked on your podcast, I think this was Boogie Monster, you talked about ChatGPT. And I thought, well, what if I consult ChatGPT for a Kyle Kinane intro?
Oh, man.
So I typed in, create an intro, an interview introduction for Kyle Kinane.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn and prepare to laugh till your sides split, because today we have the honor of sitting down with the man, the myth, the beard with a personality of its own, the one and only Kyle Kinane.
They call themselves we. That's so upsetting.
If laughter were a currency, this guy would be rolling in it. And trust me, he'd probably use those laughter dollars to buy a lifetime supply of tacos and craft beer. With a sense of humor sharper than a stand-up comedian's wit, and a beard that could challenge Gandalf's, Kyle is here to share his hilarious insights on life, love, and the existential crisis that ensues when you accidentally press reply all on an email meant for your boss. So buckle up, folks, because this interview is bound to be a wild ride through the labyrinth of Kinane's comedic genius. Just make sure to keep your hands and feet inside the laughter coaster at all times.
The problem is it's not bad for robots.
Sure.
They're almost there. And that's what's the most upsetting.
Yeah, when you think about it, this is the worst ChatGPT will ever be. Like we're at a period where it will only improve.
Yeah.
If this is the worst, what happens 1 year from now?
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why it's not upsetting that it can. It's like it's getting closer.
Like 1 year from now, they'll be telling me your social security number, the first girl you kissed, like all that stuff.
People, if not yourself, people you know will fall for true robot scams.
Oh yeah,
like not just senior citizens.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That all said, keep your hands and feet inside the laughter coaster at all times.
It's not good. It's not good, but it's good for like what machines just made a conversation, and that it bums me out.
Well, do you want a snack? We brought snacks.
Do you think this is like what horses felt like when cars showed up?
I do. I got birthday cake Oreos.
Oh, really?
Hey, you want one?
I mean,
come on.
I got blue Takis.
My experience.
I'm a little nervous about this.
My experience with Takis is those are really hot.
And it's an hot. You go with a red or an orange.
Right. Blue food is
blue.
That's not natural.
No.
Can I smell it?
It's not even the smell. It just looks so unnatural.
It doesn't really have a smell.
It looks like somebody dropped mustacholi in like an over-chlorinated pool. Made with renewable wind energy. Oh, thanks, Takis.
Wait,
now I feel better eating this pure chemical trash because it's made with renewable wind energy. Oh, good. Grupo Bimbo used renewable energy. The Takis themselves, not recyclable. This is microplastics. This food is microplastics, but it was created with wind energy.
You're being a good citizen of the world, Kyle Kinane.
I'll tell you, it's going to result in some wind energy too. Who does comedy?
Right there.
Who loves comedy, huh? Who loves doing bits? Oh, they do taste like they've been in a pool.
Oh, God. They're chlorinated.
They do taste like they were made in a hot tub.
Do you like podcasting? Is it a promotional vehicle for you? Is it something that is a passion point for you?
Oh, no, it's only to make people like because I don't do all the other stuff I'm supposed to do. Like make clips and be online and show everybody my life all the time. Like my forward-facing camera on my phone is pretty dusty, and I'm happy about that. Or the whatever self-facing, whatever. I can't live my life like I'm doing this today, and that's how you like grow a fan base is pimping out your.
Do a lot of comics
existence.
do that?
Yeah, I mean that's a part. Like you can't just be a thing. You have to let people in. Like everybody's a reality star.
That is true, because everyone has a video camera in their pocket.
Yeah, and so the thing, you're a comedian. But then people really get in when you hook them with every day, like, what so-and-so is doing this fun thing, and so-and-so doing podcasting kind of lends it to this
that makes sense.
Reality show as a core tenet of being popular. Is like podcasting. Well, every week you're going to talk about your life. Like, there's a lot of podcasts that are just strictly informative. You know nothing about the hosts.
Your comedy is it seems very honest and transparent and authentic.
Yeah, and that's the part that I'm really happy with presenting. But when it turns into having to share my daily life or I'm really scared of having to look at the world with like, oh, how can this be content?
Right.
Like
what's my angle?
Yeah, what happens to a genuine experience? I'm just still really interested in living my life and having the experience first and then making it be comedy later. I don't want it to be comedy in the moment. What if it's like a life-changing experience you're about to have, but you're worried about the joke or like, oh, get this, like, let me have the thing and I will present it in the form that I want to.
I'm guessing when you started doing comedy, you weren't as comfortable, because how could you be putting yourself out there? When did you hit that point?
How comedy, you get these stages of, like I started, like I just was writing really short jokes because that's the stuff I was watching late night television. I wasn't really consuming long sets, and I would go to see open mics. You got 5 minutes, if that, and you want to get as many things as you can in there, and then you get a 10-minute spot or a 20-minute spot. And now those little jokes, either you write that many more jokes to fill that spot, or those jokes you turn into, sadly enough, the things I've made jokes about, you turn into the jam band version of yourself. Of like, now we're just going to wail on the guitar solo in the middle of this joke for a while because we got a concert to fill. And the personal stuff came from, I was just talking about this, and you get to this era in comedy, like you get genuine laughs at really well-written jokes. And then a lot of people go through this point where like you're getting reactions, not necessarily laughs, but you're saying the most shocking thing you can say because a response is the most important thing. Like, oh, these people didn't think I would go there. And hopefully you break out of that. And then there's just more.
That was a trend for a while.
I mean, it's still a trend. It's not a trend. It's a style of comedy.
Yeah,
it's, it's like shock comedy, dark comedy, whatever. But I got more of a reward by talking about, like, oh, these are things that I really don't like about who I am. And if you laugh at them, like, I like the laugh part, but it's also, if you're laughing, it's like, oh, we did it too, or we understand. And it was like, not like atonement, but kind of acceptance for like, oh, I'm not so.
Yeah, the shared
experience. It was like a support group kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but now I don't want to do things in my life just so I can tell them on stage. Like, I don't want to have to go out and do I don't want to be a Vice journalist. Like, I'm just, shit's going to happen. I just do dumb stuff anyway. And so then I'll tell you about it.
I should mention Kyle Kinane on the road this fall, Pabst Theater in Milwaukee on October 7th, and of course Kinanesgiving at Thalia Hall on the 20th and 21st of November.
Yeah.
The big homecoming.
That's the big, the Tuesday and Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Those shows are always a blast.
And do you like fall? Do you like Thanksgiving and the leaves and the pumpkin pie and the hay rides and the...
No, I hate to go to the music element of it. Every fall, like I'm like, oh, it's Misfits and Pegboy weather. It's wet and it's gray and it's Pegboy and Misfits weather. Misfits is the obvious one.
Yeah.
But also like Pegboy Naked Reggae. For some reason, it's about like the winter's about to come, like grabbing your jacket around you, stomping through the wet leaves. And winter can go screw. I hate it. I've always hated it. Grew up here, lived here till I was 26. Hated it every single winter. I got no affinity for it whatsoever. Ooh, a skunk.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, look at that guy.
He's a big boy. Please don't come near this car.
You want some Takis? You can't smell worse than these Takis. I'm not trying to throw wind-powered created snacks under the bus. But
no, they're saving the planet. You're eating sustainable snacks, and you're giving them a hard time.
These are not sustainable.
They're wind-powered.
I'm eating them. I'll finish them.
This isn't typical factory output. This is...
You can tell that they're blue in your mouth.
Blue food hits differently.
Blue food, like, if you, like, blindly, like, what color do you think this thing is? That's probably blue.
You mentioned Ray Gun and Pegboy. You've always been punk rock adjacent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was the first show you ever saw? Do you remember?
First show... Well, the very first show was Poison and Warrant at the Rosemont Horizon.
Sweet. What was that, like 1990?
That would have been, I think, 90 or 91.
Okay.
I was in 8th grade. The very, very first show, like I would say, like punk show was...
The first cool show that you
First
want people
cool
to know
show
about?
was at the Cabaret Metro.
Yep.
I believe it was still called the Cabaret Metro then. And it was probably about 92, and it was Carter USM.
Unstoppable Sex Machine.
Yes. I saw that, and I was like trying out my little looks in high school, and these gals with driver's license, like, we're going to take you to a show in a city. I'm like, okay. I saw that. I went to the Metro for the first time, and I was like, oh wow, this is like the inklings of music you didn't hear on the radio or on MTV. And then another friend, I remember hearing that Plastic Bertrand song on the National Lampoon's European Vacation. And I was like, I need all music to sound like this. Like, and that was a testament to, like, I like the audio experience, because that's songs in French. I'm like, oh, so lyrics are one thing, but I need music to be at this speed and sound like this. And so I like Circle Jerks from like Thrashin', the movie, the skateboard movie Thrashin'. And then a friend took me to McGregor's, which I can give you the real fun backstory on McGregor's, or the area, which is at 83 and North Avenue, not far from here.
Yeah, right.
And that was Screeching Weasel. That was the last show McGregor was having, and that was Valentine's Day in 1993.
It's like classic era local punk rock.
Yeah, and they sold out the first show. That was like Boll Weevils and Smoking Popes were the first one. Screeching Weasel just played a late show because there were so many kids lined up, in the parking lot, that they're like, all right, we'll just do a late show. And I remember it was a Sunday night, because I'm like, oh, I got to go to school tomorrow. I'm going to get in trouble because I'm not getting home when I said I was going to get home. And I heard that, and I was like, what's this music?
And when you think about that, like, I have kids now, and when they went to concerts, they would text me and call. Back when you were seeing Screeching Weasel in the early 90s, like, well, I hope my parents don't freak out and call the police.
Yeah.
I'm going to get home when I get home.
Is what I'm doing worth it? And it was absolutely... Yeah, I specifically remember waiting in line thinking, like, oh, I guess we're not going to get in, and the door opening to the guitar solo for Supermarket Fantasy. A lot of shopping themed songs that I remember. But I was like, wait, what? Like, I could learn to play that song. I bought Boogada. Yeah, and I learned that over the course of the week. And that was
so. Was Screeching Weasel the band that kind of made the greatest impact on you?
Very much so.
Interesting.
And so that was... And so what I was going to tell you, so that was at 83 and North Avenue. It was, weirdly enough, across the street from there was a comedy club. I never went to it, but as a kid, I'd be like, what's a comedy club? I'm like, oh, like people go in there and laugh. I'm like, what stupid building? Like I got the worst the worst explanation of what a comedy club is like, I don't know, people go in there and there's like somebody tells jokes. I'm like, there's a building for that? That's stupid. So that made an impact. The idea that was the thing.
Yeah.
Then McGregor's, but also my uncle told me, because we're behind us. That's Rowling Road, Route 53. Right down there, about maybe a half mile, is an old Nike missile base. It's called Nike.
Is that true?
It's called Nike Park now, and that's where we go and like drink.
You
as teenagers.
had texted me, like you started filling me with lore.
Yeah.
About a year or so ago. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so that's a Nike, and Nike missiles are anti-nuke missiles, and because my uncle, who was a firefighter, said that during the Cold War they like had maps that Route 83 and North Avenue, that was like a ground zero for a nuclear missile in Chicago, because you have to think of the blast radius.
Yeah.
And if they hit Chicago, so much of it would go over the lake and be a waste. Like somebody's job was to do the math of how can we kill the most people.
Addison's the most efficient way
and
to get that done.
at the intersection where McGregor's was, and weirdly enough, I remember a night that the first time I heard whichever Ramones compilation, like a tape. I remember just looking at a tape and like, oh, a tape's gonna have 7 songs on each side, and I saw a Ramones tape. I'm like, how is this even?
It's probably like Ramones Mania.
Yeah, I was like, there's 30 songs on each side, and we were driving around, and we went like there was like train track bridge over there, and they ditched us there.
Very recently enough, Shocks and Struts was made available to us. As you're sitting here in this podcast, clearing your throat, I feel like I have an edge over people who have not watched the special. I know where that's coming from.
Yeah.
You talk about GERD.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing, but you've got it.
Yeah, it's like acid reflux, but sounds dumb.
It sounds like a made-up word.
That's the joke.
It's like the Partstown.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. You worked at Partstown. I worked at Plastic Works.
That's really a place.
Yeah, it's off Fullerton. It's actually, ironically, it's about a block away from Clyde's Delicious Donuts, where I also worked.
I love in your comedy that you use the word JAGOFF. I mean, that brands you as Midwestern.
I mean, it's a great word.
It's a great word.
It's a swear word, but it's also not a swear word. Yeah.
I'm not even sure I know what JAGOFF means.
I mean, technically it's a verb, but nobody's ever said you jerk off, but that guy's a jagoff.
Right. There.
Yeah, very much so.
But that you could take the boy out of the Midwest.
Yeah, there's still. I mean, I recently got my girlfriend was having a field day because like my neighbor's name's Don. Mm-hmm. And who would you think that is? How would you think that name's spelled?
D-O-N.
Exactly. So she's like, Dawn? I'm like, no, Don. I'm like, D-O-N. She's like, that's Don. I'm like, no, it's Don. How do you say D-A-W-N? I'm like, Don. She's like, you're not saying it right. I'm like, I'm saying it fucking fine. Jagoff.
There
See, and that's how we go back full circle.
So I love the special. The special is hilariously funny. It was filmed in Salt Lake City, and at one point you said, I'm pro-science, pro-vaccine. Mm-hmm. You know the crowd was dead silent when you said that.
Well,
like there was no reaction. You kept it going, and
I'd rather point out how that's a more rewarding laugh. Is like, oh, you don't agree with me, but the joke's funny. John Roy, Chicago comic, he phrased it great when he's like, some of the best comedy is where it's so funny that even though I don't agree with what they're saying, I'm still laughing at how good the joke is.
That's fair.
And I would love for a comedy show to be like, I might say something you disagree with, but I want to be good enough that you're coming to have a good time. Like, everybody should leave this show, hopefully, I mean, in a real hippie sense, leaving like, oh, didn't we all just sit in that room and have a good time and laugh at each other? Chad Daniels is another great comic who, like, gets on both sides, like, and everybody could walk out and be like, why are we... I know the things that I could say that can get a response from the audience, like, woo, we agree with them, but that's not a good I've said it before, if you leave a comedy show and your only thought is like, well, we agreed with that guy for an hour, you got ripped off.
Yeah, you went to a rally.
Yeah.
not a performance.
This guy speaks the truth. No, this guy said what you wanted to hear, and he got your money. That's what you happened to you.
So again, Shocks
and that goes to both sides.
Shocks and Struts. You can watch it. YouTube, right?
YouTube, I believe the audio just went to Spotify last week.
Amazing. Although seeing you is, I mean, that's the full experience. That's what the people want.
Yeah, I mean, look at this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You want to miss out.
So
the looks are what got me here.
Again, very funny special. The crew story in this special, that's the Freebird of this album. That's it.
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of Freebirds. Like I said, man, you get into that jam session part, like, I got to do an hour? All right, we're going to stretch some of this.
I love the fact, this was another revelation other than Gerd. You talk about old school bathing trunks that men wear. I didn't know that the genital clamshell wasn't a thing anymore. I just thought that was like standard practice.
No, now you just get a pair of shorts that...
When did that happen? That was never announced. Did we agree to this?
Board shorts. Do you own board shorts?
No. Well, no.
You're probably wearing them right now.
Addison's kind of hopping. The movie theater is packed. The Mexican restaurant in this little parking lot.
La Hacienda. La Hacienda is a great spot. Yeah.
Which is Spanish for the hacienda.
Yeah. We have a hacienda. I think Dave Fernandez. So
back when I read Batman comic books as a kid, the Joker had a secret hideout, kind of like Batman had the Batcave. Yeah. But the Joker's was the hacienda. I didn't realize how corny it was when I was.
No, that's like right up my alley. Yeah. For like jokes, I'm like, you son of a.
The hacienda. Again,
there's not for all the dumb comedy club names I've encountered, there is not a comedy club called that, and I can't believe that right now. There's comedy clubs called Jokers with a Z, but not Hacienda.
So I talked about that Chicago comedy documentary a couple months ago, which you're well aware of. It was interesting to me learning about how papering the rooms kind of brought about the end of a lot of clubs.
I mean, comedy clubs were like, there was a period in time they were pretty notorious for laundering money.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, there's a chain of clubs in the South. I don't know if they still do it. I won't say the name, but I still work for some of them. But like my friends would get stories about, you get paid like, all right, you're gonna make $500 this weekend. Here's a check for $1,000. Cash it next week and mail us back the extra $500. Like they weren't even lying about it. You know, just like if you're cool with that, then here's 7 more clubs that you can work. And by clubs, I mean banquet halls and a Holiday Inn. They would dress up on the weekends if there wasn't a wedding.
And as you're on the ascent, how are you going to say no to that?
Yeah, because then you're like, well, I'm getting paid in cash. They're like, I'm not trying to rat out anything, but there's a lot of, like we were saying over at the CVS when we were getting dinner, about how there's, like, which kind of punk rock is it? I mean, punk rock hates the government. Now, do you hate the government because they're going to give you a ticket for feeding homeless people, or because they don't want you to have AR-15s? There's still government distrust in both of those arenas, and we were talking about how, like, old punkers can go wildly in either way, or they could just flatten out, go the middle, and get sick of trying to uphold something. And it's this like tentative punk rock thing. Like you could either be like fight the government and just help people and be the food not bombs type. You could be the contrarian thing where anything popular is bad because it's popular, so you have to be a contrarian. Even
That's
though
exhausting.
It goes against your best interest because you might just like something, but because it's popular now I can't like it. But the comedy club that it was pretty. There was some sinister elements to it, and papering the room for it just means everybody gets free tickets. Here's a bunch of drink specials. They don't care about the quality of the show. They just need to sell alcohol.
Right.
Essentially, I am there to help a place sell food and booze.
Well,
that's it. Like that's the root of my job. As much as like you, like
sure,
comedy might be important to somebody, it's important to me. I'm functionally on tax records. I'm there to facilitate the sale of alcohol and chicken fingers.
Well, that's no different from radio. The function of a broadcaster is to make sure people listen through the commercials.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
you're not there to hook them on, the latest Mumford & Sons song. You're there to make sure they sit through all the snake oil ads that run between them.
Yeah, that's be good or bad. If people stay listening,
right,
you've done your job.
That's it. You just need to make sure the advertisers are taken care of. That's radio.
Yeah.
So again, you're at the Pabst in Milwaukee. That date, I have it somewhere conveniently located.
I don't.
October 7th. Then, of course, we get to see you back in Chicago at Thalia Hall. That is Kinanesgiving on the 20th and 21st of November. Before you suffer through the family, we get to celebrate with you.
Yeah, it's always like fun guests. Usually, Mr. Bobcat Goldthwait stops by. He's
a local hero now.
He's a suburban Chicago resident.
Every morning I wake up and I see someone's Instagram with a picture of Bobcat doing something else somewhere else. Like, he's just turning up everywhere.
Yeah, he's directing. I'm taping another special in 3 weeks, and he's directing it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it rules that also he's here. Like, it's one of those things, like, I'm only in town for a couple days, but he's real excited to have pet ducks. I'm like, hey, come hang out with
He's
your
a
ducks.
funny dude.
That guy rules.
Well, that's exciting. All right, so we get to see you in mid-November, just before Thanksgiving. It's Kinanesgiving, which is the bigger of the two holidays. And then where does the new year take you?
I don't know.
You got this thing you're doing with Bobcat.
It's just, I'm just, going everywhere. I want to be ready with a new. If I went somewhere with an hour of material, the next time I go there, I want to have a different hour of material.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't want people paying for like maybe some little snippets here and there, but I don't want people paying for the same hour. But it's just gonna.
That puts a lot of pressure on you.
It would be nice to spiral upward into a, like venue-wise.
Mm-hmm.
But also, there's something to be said, like comedy clubs, when you're doing 5 shows, where you're like, okay, I'm actually used to this room, and I'm settled into, like when somebody does a residency, they're familiar. You're not storming into a new place. Like, what's that over there? What's that noise? These lights are weird, and you're distracted. Like, no, I've been here a couple nights, and I'm settled into the room, and so I'm settled into my pacing. So, if you're a comedian, you're just doing it.
That's it.
It's like if you're a band, you just play the music, put out the album, tour on the album, make a new album. Like, that's
just like the use of the word JAGOFF. I mean, that's a Midwestern work ethic. That's
this is my product, so I make the thing, and I hope people like it and come out to it. I know it's not. It's been said a bunch of time, but like fame and success are different things.
Absolutely. And
I consider myself very successful.
One of the first things I asked you when we sat down tonight, are you happy?
Oh yeah, we did start that. I am, and it really puts my gripes in check, because it's you can like here's all the stuff that you went through, and I'm not famous. But people know who I am, and so like if you're a like comedy fan, you know who I am. But there's wildly successful comics. But as far as like what's above me, like there's people that play arenas and theaters, and I might not be that, but I'm up here, and sometimes I catch myself being upset that I'm not in this small percentile up here. But I look at everybody else doing comedy down there, and like how they must be looking at where I'm at. I'm like, let's.
Yeah,
it's easy to lose gratitude for things.
I get that. You may not be Green Day, but it's pretty cool to be Naked Raygun.
It would be awesome.
Yeah, that's right.
It would be the cool. Like, I still relate everything to punk rock, and I look at like my lights stay on because I tell jokes. That's what we're saying. I'm happy. I'm so happy. I'm scared because it doesn't seem sustainable. That the thing that you get to do exactly the thing you want to, and it works out.
You know what is sustainable?
What's that?
Taki. Made by wind farmers.
I don't know how wind came into this at all.
Here's what I know about you. I'm going to leave you here, and you're going to finish that bag tonight.
I mean, I don't know about tonight. It really tastes blue.
That's unfortunate.
The bag feels heavier than when I bought it. Now it
does.
Before it had the weight of snacks, now it has the weight of obligation.
Interesting metaphor.
No, literally. Like, now I have to finish these because you said it. Millions of people watch the show.
Millions of people.
And they're going to be like, how about the Takis?
And I just know you're alone. We've all been there in the hotel room. It's like, we know you're not going down to the lobby to forage for food. It's the girl you brought to the dance. That's.
I really thought I got better, and then I come back home. Dietarily speaking, it's that whole you think you get out, and they just pull you back in.
I'm not saying things are crashing for you, but we are sitting in an Addison parking lot with skunks. You're eating blue chips.
This is the kind of regulation. This is like it. Something's always going to knock you back down a peg back in Addison.
Yeah. Catch a falling star right here.
You're never going to forget that you're from Addison.
It's amazing.
You know you're from here.
All right, Kyle Kinane, we will see you in November. Thank you for doing this. This is a night off for you. You're not even on the road. I appreciate you doing this.
That's it. Just an Addison for recreation.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.